All right, my friends, welcome back to another episode of the Build Show podcast. That's right, my weekly time to get together with you guys and go deep. We're talking trade shows specifically on this podcast, and this is getting published right before Build Show Live goes live. But I've got a quote for you here that I really like. I've been rereading The Elements of Building, which is one of my favorite books. Mark Curson is the author. If you haven't read it, definitely pick up a copy. But right at the beginning, Mark has this short piece about education with a quote from Abigail Adams. Learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought after with ardor and diligence. I had to look up the definition of ardor, frankly. It means intense enthusiasm, passion, or eagerness. So learning is not attained by chance. Certainly you can get some learning in this business by wisdom, but you can't just by chance show up to the job day after day and expect to do better and know better. It must be sought after, learning must be sought after with intense enthusiasm, passion, eagerness, and diligence. I thought that was a great quote. Anyways, I'm going to give you my pro tips on Build Show Live, but I think this would also work for any other trade show out there. There's a lot of good trade shows out there. Build Show Live, of course, I'm a little it's my baby, so I'm a little specific in my love for it. But I'm going to give you a before, a during, and an after kind of pro tip. That being said, from the Reisinger Build Studios in Austin, Texas, let's get going. Hey guys, before we jump in real quick on trade shows, I want to say a big thanks to Huber Engineered Woods for sponsoring today's podcast. You know, one of my tips in the trade show, I'll get into this a little early because it relates to Huber. Huber is a rare company that has reps all over the country. Like there is an Austin, Texas rep. There's a Dallas rep. Some parts of the country that they're not quite as big in, like they're not used all day, every day in Arizona. They only have one rep for Arizona. But they have a ton of reps. I don't know how many. My guess is well over 100 around the nation. And a trade show is a great place, like Build Show Live, to actually meet your person or find out, hey, how can I find out the name and number of that person? Because they're going to be your go-to. Oh my gosh, my local lumberyard is out of my Huber stretch tape that I like. That's the 9-inch stretch tape. Jim, who's on speed dial from Huber, hey, how can I get a hold of you? When I've done that in the past, Huber has been super responsive, super helpful. They've visited me on the job site. They've given me some free zip rollers. They're the kind of company that really cares about me as an individual builder. So take that tip for trade shows, but also remember, Huber, fantastic company. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Before any trade show, and specifically before Build Show Live, the thing that I want to really stress to you is do your research and plan it ahead of time. We need to figure out what's going on the education track, and we need to really look and see which manufacturers are there. I have already downloaded my Build Show Live event planner on the app. They have a Build Show Live app. So depending on which trade show you're going to, they may actually have every manufacturer listed like we do for Build Show Live. So you could say, hey, I want to go see the Zender people while they're there. It'll show exactly in the trade show floor where they are, and usually it'll even list a contact name for them as well, like Zender has their guy in there as well. So do your research and plan that. Now, obviously, you want to plan your education. Build Show Live is all about education. We've got like 50-some educational sessions. And so you want to take the time ahead of time to figure out what's going on, how do I get in? And frankly, some of them are gonna sell out. So you hopefully have already booked those ahead of time. But there's also quite a few of them happening on the trade show floor. So if you brought your superintendents, your office staff, your framer, anybody to this show for that like $100 ticket, there's a ton of stuff happening right in the show floor that you don't need to get a ticket for. You can just show up and it's free. But plan that ahead of time to go, all right, from 9 to 9:45, I want to see Matt talking about the Reisinger build standard, or I want to see this guy in the afternoon or this girl in the afternoon from this period on this stage. So plan that ahead of time, figure that out. The other thing you might do ahead of time is actually schedule some meetings. Like if you knew that you had a big job coming up and you wanted to talk to a manufacturer about it, a lot of these folks will actually say, hey, why don't you come by the booth at 1 o'clock? I'll make sure Johnny is there, who's the BFS guy who's best with renderings or whatever, so that you could have that very specific conversation with them. Let's jump into the actual trade show though. The trade shows can be a little overwhelming, frankly. Have a plan ahead of time, and the big rocks in the trade show is your education that you're going to, but the little rocks are making sure first you hit all the priority manufacturers that you want to see. Make a plan for the beeline to get to those 5 or 6 people that you really feel like are the ones that you want to see. Also, if you go to an education session, I would highly recommend you sit in the first couple rows. I hardly ever interact with anybody in the back row. I hardly ever call on anybody in the back row. When people are in the front row at a trade show and they're coming to see me speak, I know that they're engaged. I'm usually making eye contact during my session. I can tell, hey, this is something that resonates. If they drop their hand even slightly up, I'm calling on them. I know that they have a question, or I'm saying, hey, hang on, I'll get back to you on that. So don't sit in the back. This isn't your high school math class that you didn't want to be at. This is your education. Do it with passion and diligence. Sit in the front row. Another quick tip on Build Show Live, by the way, all 15 or so of our contributors, I think Zach Detmore is the only one who's not going to be there. All of us are happy to get a picture with you, so don't be shy. If you finish up something or you see me in the hallway, say, hey, can I get a picture with you? It'd be kind of fun. You know, I've been watching your videos with my kids, with my wife on the couch. They would love to see that I met you. Don't be shy about asking. Any one of the 15 of us are happy to do that. And of course, throw that picture on Instagram and tag us and we'll reshare it too. That's always fun. Now on the trade show floor, our show is different because we've told the vendors, and hopefully they will heed this. I heard a lot of good feedback about this last year. They're going to bring a lot of their tech reps there. And if they're not there, ask for that tech rep's name and number. So for instance, if you go to the Huber booth and say, hey, I got a technical question, they're pretty good about answering that. They might have a great answer on the website. But if you said, hey, I want to get the tech rep's name and number, they'll absolutely provide that for you. Write that down in your notebook. Bring pen and paper. Don't be shy about writing notes down. Phones are great and all, but sometimes as you're talking to someone, you need to make a quick note. Same with all these booths. For instance, Proseco had their lab guys there last year, and that's the kind of people you want to go, hey, I'm thinking about using it on this scenario. Can I stick this to CMU block? What about putting stucco over it? Those are the kind of people who are at this trade show. And if they're not, you want to get their number for the companies that you really care about. Don't be shy about that. The other thing I'd recommend, bring a Sharpie with you. Because if someone hands you a business card, it might be one of those ones that's kind of hard to write on. Bring a Sharpie so you can write on it. Take notes on a brochure. If someone's like, hey, we got a brand new Santa Fe dehumidifier, circle the one you have questions about, circle some of the notes, say, hey, don't forget to follow up on this. You make a note to yourself. Bring that Sharpie because that's really going to be helpful. Lastly, let's do follow-ups here. Within 4 to 8 hours, go back home and take anybody's card that you've got. Make sure you put it into your contacts. Or if it's somebody important that you want to connect with, shoot them an email. Like when you get home on Monday after the trade show, you should take at least an hour that day. I know you're going to be behind on work because you've been gone for 2 days, but take an hour and review what you did at the trade show in terms of contacts. And the other thing that I didn't really get into because I'm short on time here is think about your takeaways from the show. Like, what's the one thing I'm going to do different on my jobs after I get back from the show? That's really important too, so you can start thinking about that on Monday. Guys, I hope I will see you all at Build Show Live, but if not, I would utilize the same exact strategy for any other trade show you might go to. Make those contacts, put yourself out there, make sure you meet other like-minded builders, remodelers, architects, people that are at the show. Don't be shy about meeting people. They're there because they have the same desire to build a better house that you do, and that's why they came to the show too. So make those contacts, exchange phone numbers, talk to people. This is the best networking, the best trade show, the best education event that I've ever seen, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. If you want a last-minute ticket, buildshowlive.com. With that being said, guys, from the Rice & Build Studios in Austin, Texas, we'll see you next time on the Build Show podcast.